So we've been tracking the cloud market using the Cloud Price Index for the past 4 years. And it all started because there was this dream of the utility cloud. But over time it became clear that cloud is far more complex, and service providers were offering different types of pricing options. They were offering different types of discounts. So we created a product that tracks the market, tracks the number of cloud services, so that we can give insight into what's going on. Now, initially, the battleground of the cloud price war was always virtual machines, and service providers would cut prices to virtual machines. They'd make big announcements at it, particularly at events like reInvent. Everybody would get excited and think that their bill would come down. But actually what we found was that only virtual machines were being cut. All of the other services, such as bandwidth, database, applications, everything else you can think of, was staying fairly constant. Now, last year, a new battleground opened, object storage, and suddenly all of the cloud providers were fighting over that. And in the past 3 months, we've seen a new battleground in terms of flexibility. So AWS offers something called reserved instances, and they've offered these for years, but they've become more and more complex. They started with this basic premise of pay for something up front and you get a cheaper rate, but they've had to adapt that for different enterprise needs. And because of that, there's literally tens of thousands of type of reserved instances out in the market today. And AWS's competitors are now almost attacking AWS on the complexity of reserved instances. So we've seen Oracle introduce something called universal credits, which is a simpler type of subscription model. We've seen Google come up with a sustained use discount. Even Microsoft have come up with an easier model for reserved instances. So now it's almost like AWS's competitors are trying to attack them on this flexibility issue. And as an example, AWS have around 320,000 different types of price units at this point in time. So something has to be done to resolve the complexity. And over the past 6 months, we've seen a bunch of new companies come to market aimed at resolving this issue. And these companies either make sure they clean up the waste or optimize the use of cloud, or some of the more bolder ones are taking advantage of things like spot instances to gain instant discounts, but also to pass on a degree of sustainability and flexibility. So my advice at the moment would be to be realistic about how accurate your forecast can be, because cloud is going to change and it's going up and down. But I think the most important thing to do is optimize on an ongoing basis. Now, this can be manual, but that's going to be really difficult. So perhaps the way to go is to use a third-party tool, use the tools provided by the service providers to track on an ongoing basis to see how things are changing and how it's going to affect your business.